Good morning, fellow visionary. I just want to take a moment to tap in. Let's take a deep breath together and just really ground ourselves before this video starts. Most of us don't even realize it, but we're not breathing at our maximal capacity. Most of us are breathing probably at about 75%. So what we need to start being conscious of with our breathing is when we take a deep inhale, we need to be taking that deep inhale through our nose. Our nose is our natural breathing mechanism. And if that might be hard for you, then that's something you can practice, gradually build up. But what we need to start doing is taking deep breaths in through the nose, fully letting that diaphragm expand, getting to our 100% capacity, like a balloon inflating, get to that point where it shouldn't be uncomfortable, but it should be a nice full belly of breath. And then as you exhale, try to exhale as well through the nose. If it's a little bit difficult at the beginning, you can exhale through the mouth, which is fine, but exhale through the nose all the way. And as you inhale again, have a slight little pause at the top, almost like you're holding your breath, but it's a very brief moment. And then as you exhale again, let it out. Feel your body start to relax. Gradually, you'll get better and better with this breathing practice. But the reason we want to start focusing on our nose breathing is nature intended us to breathe through our noses. It's a natural filtration mechanism. We have little hairs in there that filter out dust, pollen, particles, any kind of virus, bacteria. That's why you want to breathe through your nose. You're not getting as much oxygen when you're breathing through your mouth. When you're breathing in your mouth, typically you're feeling it in your chest. And what that's doing is that's putting pressure on your heart. And you don't want pressure on your heart because that will increase your nervous system. It'll ramp it up. It'll increase your heart rate and bring you into a sympathetic nervous system state, which is what we don't want. We want to be in a relaxed rest and digest state. So why we want to breathe through our nose fully, expanding our belly. And as we exhale through the nose, you'll feel your diaphragm start to come up. It's usually a little bit harder to take that deep inhale in the beginning. It's a little bit more sympathetic for our nervous system. When we take that inhale, it's putting a little bit of pressure on our system, our heart. So that's why our heart rate actually goes up a little bit on the inhale. And as we exhale, we can relax. If you're someone who gets anxiety, stress, anything like that, nervous energy, what you can also start implementing is small breath holds. So what I like to do before an exam, a test, something where I feel like I have a little bit more pressure behind me, what I'll do is I'll take a deep breath in and exhale through the nose, and I'll cycle through that until I really feel like I've gotten a lot of oxygen in my system. So you want to make sure that you're taking in a lot of deep breaths. Exhale fully. And as you do that repeatedly, then you can take a deep breath in and you can hold. And you'll hold that for 1 to 2 minutes. If you know you're new to breathing, it might be 30 seconds, but you start somewhere and you hold that breath at the top. And then as you exhale, once you've held your breath for as long as you can, let it out and start breathing slowly again through the nose and out through the nose. And what you'll notice is your nervous system at this point and your body will feel a lot more calm. It'll feel in this rest and digest state, which is our parasympathetic nervous system that's been activated. So you can literally calm yourself down and change your state of being just through your breath. And it's something that we're not taught in school. And that's why a lot of us nowadays in the current day and age that we're in, we're breathing through our mouths. And the problem with that is we're not meant to breathe through our mouths. We were meant to breathe through our noses because of that filtration mechanism. And also we're getting a nitrogen gas that is helping us dilate, and it's opening up our vessels in a much deeper way. So we're getting much more oxygen, and it's just much more efficient to breathe through our noses for those reasons. So what you'll notice is when you do that breath hold, your body and your heart, there are signals sent to your brain, and the brain is saying, oh, I need to hold on to oxygen because, you know, you're holding your breath. So your body's like, oh, I need to hold on to as much oxygen as I can. So that puts your body in a rest state. So it sounds counterintuitive, but actually when you hold your breath in, you're slowing down your heart rate, and that will allow you to calm your nervous system down once you let it all out and then take another nice deep inhale in. And you can cycle through that as many times as you'd like. And it's important to note that you should never do this in a pool or a body of water. Any kind of breath holding can be very dangerous as well if you're doing this in cold water, like doing a cold plunge, or ever doing this in water. So I just want to let you know, never do this alone in a pool, or especially don't be doing this when you're in cold water. If you're going to be doing this in water, it's always good to have a buddy who's watching you, because from the best breath instructors out there, they will tell you that there is possibility when it comes to breath holding that you can also pass out. So make sure that you're doing it respectfully and that you're listening to your body and you're not pushing it too hard, and you're gradually building up. So you can start practicing that just to bring a little bit more relaxation into your life. You can try out these breath holds, start implementing deeper breaths through the nose and out through the mouth or the nose. It's typically easier to go out through the mouth just when you're starting out, but gradually. And just through that, you could get 25% more oxygen if you extend that breath. And so that's 25% more oxygen into your body. So that's ultimately, you're getting 25% more than most people, which is going to help you on all different levels: your health, your wellness, your mood, everything, your energy. So just be conscious of your breath throughout the day. And the really cool thing about breath holding is it's like a natural form of blood doping. So when you hold your breath for, let's say, 1 to 2 minutes, and you get to this point where your body is in a little bit of a stress state of holding your breath for as long as you can, what you're doing is you're actually signaling a stress hormone in your body called EPO, erythropoietin. When you're bringing in that stress hormone of EPO, your body is saying, oh, I need to produce more red blood cells. So what happens is your volume of red blood cells goes up dramatically, and that ultimately allows more oxygen in your body because red blood cells are holding on to oxygen. So that is a simple way to effectively improve your performance as an athlete, which is something, you know, you're typically not even taught. I wasn't taught this as a college athlete myself. So this is one way to build your lung capacity up, so before a sporting event you can have this natural form of blood doping, which is really cool. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to mention about breathing today. That was just a quick little, it came to me on the top of my head. I'm currently doing a parasite cleanse, actually. I'm about 5 days in. I'm doing a parasite cleanse by Food Over Drugs, which is a really great parasite cleanse. I highly recommend it. They are not sponsoring this video. I just wanted to mention that I'm doing this cleanse because it just came to me and it just occurred as I was doing this cleanse over the last 5 days, and it's a 10-day total cleanse. But what I realized while doing this is my cravings started to go away. And I was like, whoa, this is really cool. Usually I crave sugar and sweets at night, but just by doing this cleanse and eliminating a lot of things in my diet, for 10 days, it's a veggies, fruits, and some seeds and nuts kind of diet. So no gluten, dairy, or meat, which is really a challenge for me as someone who loves my sourdough breads and who loves meat and cheeses as well. But it's a really good challenge to do a cleanse, and it doesn't have to be a parasite cleanse. But the reason I wanted to do a parasite cleanse is a lot of us probably have parasites within us without even knowing it. I think it's like 95% of people are probably carrying some form of parasite without even knowing it. So I really wanted to give this a try and see if any parasites will be ridded from my body. But so far, no parasites with day 5. I've heard that it can happen later on. Those little bastards want to cling on for dear life, but they're not going to stand a chance. So I just wanted to share that it's a really great idea to cleanse your system, to detox your system once in a while. And maybe that's once a week, maybe that's twice a month, maybe it's once a month, maybe it's a couple times a year, quarterly. But cleansing and detoxing your body, one, it's a really challenging thing to do mentally. So it's a quick way to build up your mental toughness and discipline just by doing a cleanse or detox. It's similar to running a race or doing a marathon or something challenging like that, but it's more mental. So what I recommend is doing a cleanse that is through a company or something that's well known. Food Over Drugs is a good one, but doing a cleanse through some form of company that makes it really easy and everything's laid out and there's a roadmap and a blueprint for you to follow. Because when you start doing cleanses or any form of detox, your mind is going to go crazy. It's going to be like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And you're going to wake up with some really new feelings, maybe even some side effects like headaches or fatigue or something like that. So it can be really rough, especially in the first 48 hours when you're doing a cleanse. But it's really helpful to have that blueprint and also that support. So maybe if you're thinking about doing a cleanse, see if your partner or maybe your friend wants to do it with you, and that will give you that support group and that structure while you do a cleanse, which is what I'm doing right now. Now, I'm not a master by any means in the cleansing detox world. I've done a lot of cleanses. I've done a lot of different kind of diets and stuff. So I have dabbled and experimented, and I've been my own guinea pig, if you will. But when it comes to the idea of a parasite is leeching onto us without us even really knowing it. And a parasite is like grabbing energy and it's taking energy from us. And so we may be not even knowing that we're, let's say, functioning at 80% or 70%, or maybe even worse, like 50%, because we have these parasites that are clinging to us, taking energy from us. Now, that's a kind of a scary thing to think that there's potential organisms in us that are taking energy from us, and we could be functioning better, we could be healthier if we were to rid them of our system. So that's why I wanted to do a parasite cleanse first off. Within that, metaphorically speaking, do you have any parasites in your life? And that might not even be internal parasites. That could be parasites in the form of negative friends, negative people who have just this negative energy to them, or something that just is taking from you all the time, but it doesn't give you anything in return. That is the definition of a parasite. It's something that's clinging onto you and taking, and it's not giving you anything back. So ask yourself, do I have any parasites in my life right now that I could possibly let go of or detox from? Because oftentimes when we're changing and we're growing as people and we're we're diving into the world of personal development and we're growing ourselves, we're going to have this kind of pushback, this kind of energy that says, hey, we don't like to see you change, because people like the familiar. So the people around you in your circle might be like, what are you doing? That's weird. Like, you're being weird, or you're like posting YouTube videos. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not like a YouTuber or an influencer. Like, you're gonna have people who are throwing negative shit at you, right? And so I'm not saying to just all of a sudden kick your friends to the curb and say, peace, but what we ultimately want to do is check and see, what is our circle of influence? Are they people who uplift us, or are they people who are bringing us down or possibly taking from us more often than not? And if that's the case, then it's time to reconsider having a better circle of influence, a circle that uplifts you and brings you to a higher state of being and makes you the best version of yourself, and also is an acceptance that when you have changes and growth within yourself, that they're there along supporting you on that journey. My best friends, shout out Jake, Yosef, Alec, John, all my best homies, they know that from across the world, wherever they are, and some of them are in multiple different countries, some of them are in different parts of California, but they know, even when they haven't seen me in years or months, we're there for each other. It's a support system. It's a group of guys who, no matter how much time has separated us, no matter how much distance has separated us, we're there for each other, and we're there to observe, and we're all there for each other to ultimately witness and support each other in our journey here on planet Earth. We all need friends and people in our life that are there to witness and support us. If you're someone on your journey and you are lacking this support in this group, know that me just being here with you in this moment, I am a support group to you. I'm a support system, and you can always reach out to me if you'd like, or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm an open book, guys. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm there for you. And if you're here supporting me, thank you so much. I support you back equally. And that's ultimately what I just wanted to go over quickly in this video, is a little breathing technique, a little bit of, metaphorically speaking, when it comes to parasites, physically getting rid of them in your system, but also in your sphere, in your circle of people. Because ultimately, if you want to be charging at life and you want to wake up every day and go after your dreams, go after your goals, you're going to need to ultimately take a step away from the people that are clinging on to you and bringing you down. Or you can tell them straight up and be upfront with them and be like, hey, I don't really appreciate the way that you're inflicting negativity onto my life. Be upfront with people in your life. Be like, hey, I didn't really appreciate that. Can you maybe do it this way? Can you maybe give that feedback this way next time? Because when you say it like this, it doesn't make me feel good about myself. So it's all just about communication with our friends, our family, and our tight connections and our tight circle of influence when it comes to uplifting each other and realizing that change is constant, guys. We're all going to be changing on the daily. Biologically, I think it's like every 7 years or something like that, or maybe it's less than that. But ultimately, we are new people, constantly changing and constantly evolving. And if the people in your support group don't support that change in you, then maybe it's time to confront that. Because if you don't confront it, it will eventually confront you. So I hope this video helps. I just want to keep it as brief and simple as possible this morning. I love you so much. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you like any of my videos. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.